Hi, everyone, and welcome to Awaken the Healer Summit. The summit has been designed for you to help heal, evolve, and tap into your most powerful life. Today, I'm so excited to have with me Summer McStravick. Summer has developed her own, it's called Me School, and we'll let her talk a little bit about it later. But she's been working with flow energy for almost 20 years. Her natural gifts carried her to Hay House, where she learned from the best, I would say, Louise Hay, Dr. Wayne Dwyer, and others, while spending 10 years developing Hay House New Media Division, including Hay House Radio. And I bet so many of you are very familiar with Hay House Radio. In 2009, she left Hay House to focus on her work on Flowdreaming.com. The results is Flowdreaming. It's a self-development podcast that's been in existence for 12 years. She's also developed 2 free apps, 2 books, hundreds of recorded audios, and as I mentioned before, Me School. Most importantly, she beat breast cancer in 2015 and continued to teach and lead her company while healing from it, which was really inspirational and very hope forward, I would say. So Summer, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Mary Ann. It's lovely to be here. Thank you for that long and beautiful introduction. It makes me feel very proud, very accomplished, busy.
Well, you should be, because I think that when you're in this healing world, right, and we're bringing, I mean, you started over 20 years ago, which is about the same time I was starting, maybe about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And back then, there wasn't a whole lot going on in this space.
Mm-hmm.
And so to be, I call it like forerunners, like to be on the cusp of, before it really became mainstream, energy work and healing and using your vibration to shift things up. You know, it was a big leap of faith you had to take to begin your journey and start your own business. And so let me start there. So how did you make that leap of faith? What inspired you that you said, okay, I'm done, time to leave an amazing place with all these other wonderful healers and start my own thing?
Yeah, well, there is a longer backstory, but I'm going to make it very condensed for you because I know we have a lot to cover. It was a variety of factors that came together at the same time, as they usually do in our life. When it's time for a change, your life will conspire to make it happen. And the worst thing you can do is resist the change. Is say, no, I don't like that idea. That's not right. You're not doing what I want you to do. It's just what most of us tend to do with our lives when they start changing. And we are saying, no. So if you can release and flow with the change, it goes smoother. If you resist it the whole way and fight it the old way, the whole way, you will still change, but it will take a lot longer and it will be a lot more difficult and stressful on you. So I had a bunch of things conspiring together in 2009. And the upshot was I had the opportunity to run Flowdreaming full time and leave Hay House. And all of the years there, I look back and realized it was really a setting up for me, I guess, kind of like the universe tutoring me, teaching me. It was asking me to do things over and over again. I never wanted to be a podcaster, never wanted to have run a big network. And, I was very private and didn't want to share anything about myself. And, universe had another plan for me. It's like, no, we gave you some gifts. If you don't start using them and getting them out there, then we're going to really feel we wasted our time with you. Once I got that, once I started to understand that, I just have to just go with it because it keeps being put there for me. That's what Hay House was. It really was a learning experience meant to crack me open, launch me, and encourage me, boost me to feel like I really can do this on my own. I really do have something important to say. And I was really slow understanding that. Other people would have caught on a lot quicker than me. It took me like 10 years. But eventually I realized, okay, right, that's why all of this is being invested in me. It's like pouring your college money into a kid year after year, hoping someday they'll realize they can actually do something with it. That was me with the universe. So Flowdreaming took off. Yeah, just went from there.
Awesome. And you know what I love is it just seems like today people move so much faster than they did 15, 20, 25 years ago. Like
Yes.
really back
Yeah.
then, you had to sort of get whacked over the head a few times before you finally made the shift. And now
Yeah.
people are like, sure, what's next? And I
Right.
love that about our time.
Well, we came from the time where people would stay in a job and they'd get a job and they'd stay there for a long time. Completely different today. Today, you're expected to move through one thing after another, which really means a continual process of rebuilding yourself. Every time you're shifting and moving a job or moving a marriage or moving whatever, every few years now, we know we will probably have a new career. 5 years, 7 years, 10 years is a long career at this point.
Right.
Which kind of leads into healing in my worldview, because every time you shift into something, I consider that there's kind of a debris that happens as a result of the shift. And because we're shifting so much now and so much more frequently, rebuilding ourselves as this new person over and over again, whenever that happens, it's like a building comes down so a building can go up. Well, the building that comes down has to be cleared. It has to be healed, which means that we're also entering this time where we're pretty much in a continuous line of healing. And that old school way of, well, I just have to heal the bad stuff that happened to me as a kid, and then my life will be great, that's done. I mean, that's also old thinking. I mean, yes, you have to heal yourself, from being a child, but you have to actually stay in this kind of continuous, bicycle ride of healing, because as long as you're growing, you're leaving some rubble behind you. Whatever growing experience you have is generating some form of healing in you at the exact same time. And I think people are starting to catch on to that understanding, and
Right.
realizing, keep going.
Yeah, I especially love that because as we keep changing and developing, not only are we sort of healing the rubble, but we are creating more support for our new vibration and where we're shifting to and what
Yes,
we're about to play in the new phase.
exactly.
So you
Exactly.
just recently went through this huge transition for yourself called breast cancer.
I certainly did.
And
Yep. More forms of healing.
so tell me how that impacted your whole life and
Ah,
what you
yeah.
now hold to be true because of your journey.
Yeah. So 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. I chose to go through both traditional and alternative healing together, kind of bridging both worlds, which in itself, let me tell you, is a journey trying to get those two worlds to work together. Um, I went into remission, so I'm a year clear at this point. Thank you. But it really it changed. It changed me in I can't even, like, words can't describe how much it evolved me, maybe, or it made me very clear on things that had before I had just taken for granted, and living and life. And I realized, I was 43. I had two kids, who were still not, in grade school and junior high school. And I've got a lot of living left to do. And you're suddenly staring at this potential of maybe you don't have a lot of living left to do. What's important to you? What do you take with you? Is it the house? Is it the stuff? It's none of that. The only things you take with you are the things that you've captured in your heart, right? The things that you've made inside yourself, your own personal growth. That's the only thing that travels on. And this kind of rearranged my world, and I went through a massive, I don't know how I can say it other than like a heart opening. It was, that you hear about this. People can go into a state of bliss. They connect to the Kundalini. I don't know. For me, it was like my heart broke open and I felt myself. I went through several periods where I just sobbed and cried for days. And at one point it clicked in me. You're not just crying because you got diagnosed with cancer and you're scared. Yeah, that's part of it. You're crying for everything that ever happened to you in your entire life. And I was shocked at that point to discover, how is that all still in there? Wait a minute. I thought we'd gone through that. I thought we'd moved through that. But I realized now the heart is like a repository for everything you've ever felt. The heart's job is to well, the heart's job physically, right, is to distribute nutrients and oxygen throughout your body. It also pulls the toxins. I learned it, where does my lymphatic fluid go? It goes back into the heart and it processes it and cleanses it. So your heart is really this pump taking in and putting out. Energetically, emotionally, your heart should be doing the same thing. It should be taking in all of your experiences. It should be processing them all the way through and cleaning them and cleansing them, and basically in a continuous state of healing inside of yourself. So all those parts of me, if it's not happening, if something gets stuck or blocked, it just kind of swims and stays around inside you. And then you just keep adding more stuff on it, more stuff on it. If you think about all those years when you're depressed, or those years you're carrying guilt for, those things you're ashamed of, those parts of yourself where I'm not good enough and I haven't done enough in my life yet, or I made so many dumb choices. This is all stuff your heart needs to be cleansing out constantly. Because if it goes in there and stays, things will develop in your life to help you purge it. Let's put it that way. So I had these massive experiences of purging. And the result was something I didn't even know your heart can do, which can, if you, and this is maybe because of the practice I do with Flowdreaming and in me school, but, if I am going into my emotional self now, I can kind of activate the heart, activate an energy inside where I just open and I feel intensely connected. And then I just start moving into, I can only describe it as a state of bliss, to the point where I can just cry. I have this is surrounding nothing in particular in my life. There's no events that have to trigger this, nothing outside me, things don't have to be going well. It's all self-activated. And that, I think, has been really one of the biggest gifts, because it made me realize what the heart is really capable of doing. I wish I didn't have to get there the way I got there, but I did. Now I have it, and now I try and gift that as part of my whole, philosophy of flow.
I love that, because in life, as we go on our journeys, there's so many little things, and then big events that sometimes hurt our hearts, like whether we've been rejected or let go of or hurt, or somebody said some mean things about us. And if we're not processing that out, or something gets stuck in the way, then we build up. We build up this huge resistance.
You build up, and your heart it gets clogged like a bathroom drain. And what happens to clogged water? It goes stagnant, right? It starts to fester. It becomes, so this is pure energy. It has to be moved through. And, the other part of the healing that I wanted to mention is I realized that physical healing is certainly one half of the equation, but it's really 50%. I did all the physical things to, make my cancer go into remission, or cure it, as I like to say. The other half is emotional healing, which is as important, if not more important, than the physical, at least equally important. And the emotional healing, it doesn't have a timeline, which can be frustrating, because it has to move through you at whatever pace it's going to move through you. And I find that with myself and with most people I talk to, the emotional healing takes far longer than the physical healing. These are the people who have had chronic diseases. They've had fibromyalgia, they've had Lyme, they've had, sorry, there's loud noises out there. Maybe they've had cancer, etc. The emotional holding on, the emotional letting go of that, there's like a fear that often kicks in. Will I get it again? What did I lose from it? All of those years I lost from it. This stuff, which I look at it as a kind of emotional debris. Right? It's like the emotional falling down of the building. And it's slower to clear, but it will clear, especially if you're giving and creating and doing something to make it clear, and not just letting time make it clear, which is what, we've all been taught to do. There are other ways to get it to clear.
I love it. And you're going to give us an experience of a clearing or a flow dreaming, or
yes.
And so should we focus on the heart today, since that's where we've been talking about, or do you focus somewhere else?
Okay, so when I go into flow, I never know what's going to come out. I have no idea what we're going to do. It's really just whatever kind of, comes in that attunes, that aligns to what we're talking about, and everyone is listening, right? There's what do you call it? A synergy that comes together. So flow dreaming is a practice. It's a technique. It's not meditation. Just briefly, it's not hypnosis. It's not creative visualization. It's a synthesis of guided daydreaming, of going into flow state, which is an actual connective state, and deep wellspring of emotion, right? I teach you how to become an emotional powerhouse, how to have your emotions on demand, on command, be where you want them to be. So when we go into this flow state, if you're confused what it is, just follow along, right? I'm going to guide you with my voice, tell you what to see. And that's why it's not meditation, because you're actually going to be giving your mind something to do while you call your emotions up and start loving them, right? Start allowing them to be inside of you and redeveloping a new relationship with your emotional self. So yeah, let's close our eyes and let's get this going, because I know we don't have a whole lot of time.
Great.
Okay, so sometimes when I go into flow, you see my eyelids flip around. It's like a little bit of a REM state that happens. Don't worry about it. If it doesn't happen to you, it's not a big deal. I like to relax my body just so I don't bring any tension. I always notice where I carry it. Take a deep breath. Notice if your shoulders were tight. Roll your neck. Keep breathing. You might want to release your jaw, your brow. Notice the parts of your physical self that hold energy in the form of tension. Releasing. Relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. You're giving yourself 5 or 10 minutes to be somewhere else, to go somewhere, to peel the curtain back. You're like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, and you're going to be looking at the wizard right there behind his console after Toto peels back the screen. You're peeling back the screen of your life. You're zipping in and going behind the energies. Notice the room around you, the space around you. Just let it be in your imagination. You can feel this room around you. You sense it. You can smell it. You feel the air pressure. You feel other things in the space around you wherever you are. A sense of things being there, things occupying space. Desks or chairs or a car or other people. You notice everything around you. It's like there is a blueprint. There are the real things, the physical things, and then there's the swirling energy that makes up every one of these things. Pulls it together, holds it together, allows it to be the shape of what it is. And it's in motion. You feel the motion. Extend your mind out, extend your feelings out, extend your heart out. Do you feel the motion? Everything is traveling through time. Second by second, your heart is traveling through time. Every beat. You feel that in your chest? It's moving. It's changing. It's being held together in this beautiful and gorgeous and grand flow. A flow of life and a flow of time and a flow of you and a flow of all of the threads of the universe just performing for you. It's miraculous. They're performing for you. You didn't have to do anything to make all of this come together, to make your heart beat, to make the world swirl into all of its individual pieces for you. It's just happening. And you feel yourself now, your whole being, you're a blessed part of this flow. A necessary, vital, important part, taking space in this flow. And everything that you are, notice the collection, everything that you're going forward into your future with. What is it? Who are you? What have you built? What have you built inside of you? What pieces are inside of you? What experiences have you had? The highs and the lows, the times you cried, and the other times when you laughed and flown at the feeling at the top of the world. All of this is inside of you. The marriages, the partnerships, the children, the times you've been rejected, the times things that felt like golden fruit dropped in your lap, those days that have passed with you hardly even noticing them. It's all in you. Do you feel that? Stored up. It's in your being, your great being. Now go deeper into this place. You feel your heart again. You see the energy of your heart. You see the emotion of your heart. Your heart, what has it been doing for you all of these years? Oh, it's been a pump, hasn't it? It's been a pump just like it's pumped your blood and your body. Here behind the curtain, in the other world, the other place, the flow, the energy state, the heart has been pumping through all of your emotions, all of them, every single day. How many times do you think you feel something in a single day? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 different feelings? Every bit of hope, every bit of lowness, every time you got irritable, the heart says, another one to pull through, another one, another one. All the things people have given to you just today. All the things you've responded to, the disappointments, the joy. What's come into your day today that you felt something, a reaction to, a response to? You called your heart up and you said, deal with this, process this, take this in for a moment. Let's give to your heart. Let's say to your heart right now in this space, heart, you've done such a beautiful job for me. I admire you. I adore you. I am amazed at what a powerhouse you are. All that you've done for me so invisibly. Never thought about that. Every emotion I've ever had has been filtered through you every day of my life. It's been so much. All of these feelings that spread through my body end up with you. What do you need to let go of? Is there any tuning up you need? Is there any releasing? What do we need? I know it's not going to happen all at once. It's not going to happen right now in a big thing, or maybe it will, but do you know what I want to offer you right now? I just want to tell you I see it. I'm awake to it now. I'm aware of it. And whatever you need, as these days and weeks and years of our life continue to unfold, I'll recognize when you need something. I'll recognize when you're timidly putting your hand up and saying, please, I need some peace. Please, I need some me time. Please, I need a weekend alone. Please, I need some time not to think and just to feel. Please, I need my head out of this for a little bit. It's time for me to do my work. I need to cry. I need to grieve. I need to release. I need to unblock. I need some laughter. I need to just laugh and be silly. I need to process through any and all emotions and ones that don't even make sense. Yes, will you let me? And what do you say to your heart? You say, oh, baby, of course I will. I love you. I love you. Talk about loving me, loving myself. I love you. I love us. We are living this life together, and I sometimes take all the control and get all up in my head and think it's all me. I'll handle it. I'll fix it. I'll do it. I'll do it. And the heart, you're sitting there saying, but that's my job. But, okay. Allow the shift to happen out from your head, dropping down into your heart. Feel the energy as it flows. Your head says, okay, I don't need to do all of that. Heart says, I will. That's what I'm here for. That's why you have me in life. Let me do my job. Let me feel again. Let me feel for you, and don't worry about being hurt. I know how to handle that too. I was built for it. I was built to be hurt and then to heal, and then to be hurt and then to heal. I was made for it. Don't shield me from that. Don't protect me from that. Let me be me, and let me be strong for you. Let me show you what I can do. Give me that. And you can feel it, one final sort of energetic response opening up to your heart like a little wave crushing over inside your chest. Okay, okay. Okay, heart. Okay. And with that, you find yourself now coming back. And you return from flow. And you notice how you are suddenly aware again of the space around you and yourself and your body. And now you open your eyes. Sorry, I get goofy after these and it takes me a second when I just get lightheaded.
Well, that was really beautiful and very grounding. It's so funny that you said I get lightheaded because the last two times I've done some healing on these recordings, we forgot to talk about the free gift. We forgot to talk about anything because we were both a little lazy from the healing that took place. Yeah. You know what I love about that, Summer, is that it's so easy to access the connection when you put that level of energy that you used in order to bring us there, to flow us into it, to really sort of expose that to ourselves and to connect with whatever was there. It was lovely, really powerful.
I'm a big believer that we were gifted in life, not just with a body, but with constant, ongoing, easy access to our guidance, to our higher natures, to source, whatever it may be. I don't think we would just be dumped here without having that access, or that we'd have to study and figure out how to do for years of our life. It's already built in, using a couple of naturally built-in parts of us. It's just about understanding what those parts are. Right? Which is flow, which is daydreaming. And that's what I hope people just experienced. So, yeah.
Well, I certainly did. And I loved it. And I do want to say, check out summersflowdreaming.com. I've been to your site many times, and in different times in my life when I just needed to open up more flow around a particular area. I've purchased some of your recordings and used them to jumpstart whatever it was that I was working on. So I love your work. I love what you offer to humanity. It's really super powerful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do. I have recorded many of what I just sort of gave you a little demo of on all different subjects, from healing to getting unblocked, unstuck. I mean, moving energy. And you could just walk right through it. And then, of course, there's Me School, which is my flagship program, and that's where I walk people through an entire year of this deep inner transformation, really getting to understand all of your non-physical gifts, how they're here for you, how to talk to the world, build things, create things. I love getting through patterns and blocks in people. It's one of my little favorite things to do. So that's all. You can find all of that at flowdreaming.com. Yeah, but check out eSchool too.
And what were you gifting to the group today?
I have a fantastic gift for everybody. Actually, it really, really is. It's something I put together over the years. I decided many years ago that I would teach people how to flow dream for free. I mean, it's a non-negotiable for me. So I have the entire core teaching package. I call it the free kit intro guide. And it is an audio that teaches you what you're doing, like how to do this properly. It's like 20 minutes, it's not very long. There is also a PDF that comes with it where you can read about, what you're doing. And finally, there's a practice flow dream where I lead you in and out of flow state, and you get to practice. That's called positive flow. And it just gets you instantly aligned into your day, into your life. It breaks, bad energy. It's just great. So it's all in this free package gift. So once you grab it, you get all of it.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so super generous of you. And thank you for coming on and sharing your gifts with us.
Oh, thank you very much, Mary Ann. You've been delightful. Great questions. Thank you.
All right. And for those listening, stay tuned for some Facebook Live additional training, and you can connect to the free gift below in the email that this video came with. So I hope everyone enjoyed their time with Summer this afternoon, and that you get to play it over and over and over again, because what Summer did say is, it's not just about one clearing. I have a lot of clients that come to me and they think, but I cleared that.
You're like,
and I always use the analogy, like, it's like the onion. You just get to keep peeling it back and back and back until you finally, you know, really do feel liberated. And it's almost like a surprise when it comes back in again at some level.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Summer. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And stay tuned for the next Facebook Live. Take care, everyone.